So lo and behold, I get one DCEU video up, and then somebody makes a comment in my thread underneath the video, and it blows up, and I have to make another video today. This is pretty cool. So one of the comments today after my last video was that David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad has been screened and that people were talking about it all over Twitter. So I had to head over there and see for myself what was going on. So here's what we know. We have the Release the Ayer cut, account on Twitter is claiming that David Ayer actually showed him his 2-hour, 23-minute version of Suicide Squad. And I don't think this account is going to claim this. They have been a Ayer cut supporter for a long time, and they're very active on Twitter and with the community, trying to get people riled up to do tweets and stuff like that. So this is pretty legit. I don't think he's going to call it out, and I did see that I believe that David Ayer himself did share this, and it's pretty much confirmed that, yes, he did show this movie, and I don't think he's going to show it if there aren't plans for it here in the future. There is still an unnamed movie that is supposed to be released coming up here pretty soon. And what a great way to bring people back into the fold than going back to what they messed up, the other studio messed up and said, here, we're giving you guys what they didn't give you. And David Ayer Suicide Squad is one of those films. Now, I'm one of those that did not hate the theatrical version. But I know there was more. And then when I started seeing what David Ayer said, it makes you a little more angry. You don't know what you don't know. And David Ayer put his heart and soul into that film. And oh my gosh, did Warner Brothers screw it up. I am so glad those people are not in charge anymore. So this individual claimed that this completely changed the tone of the film. It has a much deeper meaning. And from everything I've read from what David Ayer has said and what, has been posted before and what other people have talked about, well, mainly from David Ayer himself, that this movie is completely different. Same kind of basic storyline, but there is so much more to it, and that it tied directly into Batman versus Superman. And so, or directly into, not Batman versus Superman, but directly into Justice League. I believe that he did say that there was Steppenwolf in the film, and he was one of those that was in charge, and they did have parademons in there towards the end of the film with Enchantress. So this seems to be another Justice League theatrical release versus Zack Snyder's Justice League type of thing, where the studio just butchered the film, did what they wanted to do with it to change the directory, and the trajectory of the DC films, and they just screwed everything up along the way, screwed the fans, screwed the actors, screwed the filmmakers, and this is the result. So here we are years later, and we now can confirm that this film does exist. It's coming directly from the sources. So I think this is fantastic news. I don't think he would show it and get people excited if there aren't plans for this here in the future. I'm one of those that wants to see that film. I'd like to make a cohesive, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Justice League. All of these movies were supposed to fit together nicely. And boy, did the studio screw things up. It kind of reminds me of what they did back with Superman 2 back in the 80s. Warner Brothers just has not been kind to DC properties. The only time I've seen them move out of the way was when Christopher Nolan did his Dark Knight trilogy. And I love those films, but I am more eager to see what we're going to get with the Snyderverse and with, David Ayer Suicide Squad and have Jared Leto get redeemed and just see a much better film. I just can't wait. And I'm hoping that this means big things for the future. All right, what are your guys' thoughts on this development? I just had to get another video out. There's just stuff. There are just some weeks where it just the stuff keeps coming, and I'm going to have to continue to do videos on this stuff. I do appreciate it, and we will see you on the next DCEU update.